Well, hello, folks. Top Gun here with you, and I got a good one for you today. I have had some comments on my channel. I'm still reading them. I'm sorry, guys. I have been incredibly busy. I am immensely flattered that you think the hope of Pulse Chain and Pulse X depends on my videos. all hope is most certainly not lost, and I will do a video on some math as to why Pulse Chain launching in a bear market after some more crashy of Ethereum is a good thing. And I will bring the hope. But for right now, I'm a little confuzzled with what the markets are doing. I mean, looking at the micro. On the macro, oh, yeah. Basically, the contestment is what kind of market rally are we going to have before the pain really onsets again? Because we've had a lot of technically oversold things that need to have some power, but basically, there's a lot of stupid. Never bet against stupid, and people are just buying the dip over and over again. Retail buyers, and they're not exhausted. They're not exhausted. They're not out of money. They're not out of money. That's where inflation's intact. Stupid money is still buying things when it shouldn't be. And until all that stupid money is basically taken away from the stupid people, inflation's intact, and the market is in huge turmoil, and we haven't really found a bottom. We found a bottom that stupid money wants to trade on and think, off to the moon, man, all-time new highs. Well, there is room to trade with these on the dumb money and take that dumb money and get it out of the system so you can wait and use it later and buy even more good stuff when the real deals are there to accumulate, like Warren Buffett. Right now, don't swing trade. Swing trading will get you wrecked. I'm not a financial advisor, but I lost a ton of money swing trading. No, I haven't. I've just lost money investing so far and watching the market crash around me. I've made money swing trading, but don't swing trade. Don't do it, okay, folks? Like, I have to work my day job to get powder in the keg to take advantage of everything. So let's have a look at the market in a snapshot. Oh, the pain yesterday. Still waiting for the markets to open in about 2 minutes. We're actually going to take a look and see what it does. But so far, the dollar's up. This is a bad sign for the market because oil is up and the dollar is up. I'm expecting some more pain in the market. So we're going to see in about a minute or two if I'm correct on this. At least early morning pain. The markets can decide from day to day. We've got a few reports coming throughout the week, but what I find interesting is crypto right now. Ethereum is touching, and yes, I'm looking at the 4-hour. Things are so interesting, not the day anymore, but Ethereum is kissing right off a long-standing line of resistance. Let's actually zoom out to the day and show you. Ooh, that long. It fell out of the big long trend into a smaller, deeper trend, into an even deeper trend, and it's just, am I about ready to get out of that? That's what it's wondering. And BNB is doing the same test, the current downtrend. Ooh. And Bitcoin, the current downtrend, oh, it's so much pain it has felt lately, is below one of the older trend lines, is now going to act like a line of resistance. So I have a hunch right now, since Bitcoin has no indicating factors here, that it's waiting to see what the market does, and Ethereum, that now the market and Ethereum are in the lead. The altcoin, because the altcoin here, traders know, well, it's got to make a decision. It's either going to continue to go down and treat this as a line of resistance that it cannot cross, showing more market pain, or it's going to crack this, saying, ooh, risk on. Are there any buyers? Any buyers? Because there might be room for a rally. Yeah, up to 1600 before more pain. It's just going to keep coming down, but it could only go here and down, or it could come straight down. Like, the whole point is the trend is your friend till the end, and we are in a bear market trend. I've been calling it for a while, so everything overall is going down, and this is high risk. High risk if you want to trade this kind of crap. But we look at the RSI conditions in the MACD. All of this is kind of indicating risk on. Let's cross over it. But that's where I'm like, what's the 4-hour doing? Oof, the 4-hour. We're at this test mode. We're going to probably test this all day. We'll see what happens. I mean, we're getting closer to those green impressions on the Instagram, and the oversold conditions of the RSI are thinking about cracking over. So will Ethereum flag a risk-on environment for Bitcoin today? That's the question. 9:31. Ooh, the market is trading up after hours. The SPX, Nasdaq, and Dow Jones, as well as the dollar. This is interesting. Everything up. Usually, oil and markets and the dollar aren't all supposed to go up at the same time. If the dollar is stronger than commodities and bonds and stocks, people go to trade for the dollar and sell the bonds and stocks. And vice versa. Dollar index and market usually supposed to go kind of opposite of each other. There has been, that's not a guaranteed. And oil has been, for me, basically the tracker of how intact is inflation. And as we can see, the continued growth after hours, oil is starting to take a dip. That's why market has made... It's weird tracking the early market stuff because there's a lot of after hour stuff that basically is getting sorted out in the first half hour. And then different news throughout the day will affect some stuff, but I keep a close eye on this and inflation to see what's going on, because at this point, everybody's so scared. Crypto crowd is keeping a close eye on it too. So basically, yeah, basically this week, there's not a whole lot going on. Some more reports to look at. I think on Thursday is the big day. But basically, there's no good fundamental reason for risk on to be happening right now. Basically, once U.S. oil starts to crash, that's when the actual recession has started. As long as, we have fighting the girl and she's not really crashing, we're not even beginning the recession yet. The pain we have seen isn't even the tip of the iceberg. So, some scary facts for you. If you want to look back into history at previous crashes about when oil topped, that was at the beginning of the crash, not at the end of the crash. So a lot of people are starting to pay attention, like, oh yeah, oil's a thing of inflation. Now that oil's crashing, maybe we have pink inflation. The market's going to be okay. It's safe to trade. Face palm plant. I mean, it's okay to trade, but it's not buy, risk on, all-time new highs, man, to the moon. No, not what's happening. I mean, some stupid money thinks it is, but there is a lot more pain to come. So you can trade and bet on stupid because, pretty much you can't ever go wrong betting on stupid. So when stupid will run out of money, that's a whole nother question. And so the markets are incredibly agitated because there is irrational buying happening. A lot of emotional buying, sentiment buying, and not a lot of fundamental technical buying in the same ways. And as opposed to the amount of retail, emotional, nonsensical buying. Like, oh my god, buy the dip in everything. Exacerbate it. Like, this was a huge dip buy. You can see the RSI conditions shift from a normal thread to just hurt. I can show you that kind of stuff in maybe even Hex. Nah, not quite apparent there, but oh yeah, Hex. I haven't even come to that price. So yeah, Ethereum today is testing this resistance. Yes, it's sitting on it, but as you can see by my charts, just because it breaks it a little doesn't mean it's boom, done. I'm on the zoom in to see what's happening, but we look at the daily charts. Okay. So today, Ethereum is thinking about breaking its resistance. And my theory is if it does and it gets a bit of a rebound, we get the risk on environment in Bitcoin and in BNB, which their market time is different. Like, this day just started at 9:30, and at 8 p.m. my time is when the new day for crypto starts. So there's a 12-hour gap. So we'll see what happens today, folks. But where I'm really keeping my attention in all this craziness, because Bitcoin, I think, is waiting for Ethereum to flag, and Ethereum is flagging that maybe it wants to show a risk on. We'll have to see if it has room to try and fight up for 1700 in a small rally. I'm doubting it. We might see a little action above this line, set some new trends, but I don't know. I don't know, folks. Like we came to kiss it earlier. Decisions. What will it do? And meanwhile, Hex has had a lot of recent action. So we'll go out to the day. And I like this W, this kind of reversal teacup pattern. I'm worried about another reversal head and shoulder, though, going for a downtrend. So we are going to zoom in to the 4 hour, have a little bit of a closer look here. So the trend is your friend until the end. So the most recent trend was the bull trend I was tracking. This one I'm making really bold. So we have broken this. Now, these are close enough that in the grand scheme of things, this is not, I don't think, going to be that important for tracking a line of resistance. Oop, wrong one. I wanted to grab the little one. And we're going to shift. So we're still going to track these tops. And now, tracking the bottom. The trend is your friend until the end. So right now, the bull trend, the argument for the bulls, is stretching out like this. So that's the current bull trend. Right now, make this blue lines. This is the current bear trend. Alright. So you can see I track these old lines pretty much just to see what it was doing, so I can take some of this gunk out of here so we can see. Let's clean this chart up. So I don't need that yellow line anymore. And so we've got an argument between these two. Why do I have this long-standing blue one? Let's go ahead and just make that kind of dim. So that long-standing blue one, though, I mark because it, as you can see, it was a line. It goes back. It's one of those deep history lines. Where does it come from? Way back in the past. But believe it or not, like, I track this stuff because the price does seem to move within these trends. And within these, you start to see little patterns form. Like, okay, stepping off the steps, building resistance. So the tea leaves start to speak to me. And while we've got this consolidating or this question time coming up in Ethereum, you can see the oversold conditions, red impressions in the MACD. It's still asking for more pain, and we've got a little room to come back down and test and fall a little bit more in and along this area while we consolidate and see about cracking up again. I'm thinking that this 3.7 cents, if nothing crazy happens, no news drops, it just sends the market spinning. The tea leaves are saying that at the moment, X is going to come back and test this line of resistance, probably closer to 4 cents, and probably in a few days, like Wednesday. Ooh, that would be interesting. The tea leaves are telling me that probably sometime Tuesday night or Wednesday, it's going to come back to test 4.5 cents. As in, bounce up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. Not enough wiggling in that line, but shouldn't have even wasted the time trying to draw it like that. But that's what I'm wondering if Hex is going to do right now and make a head and shoulder pattern. Now, if it does that, it might be another reversal signal to say that we're going to head into more pain and actually come back to retest the 3 cents. But if we can crack above this line and crack to 6 cents in this, it will be flashing that we are actually in the bull sign. So What Hex decides to do in here is basically going to tell me if we are heading the bear trend or the bull trend. There's an argument for both, depending on what the market wants to do. But Hex has kind of decorrelated from the market a little bit, but I have noticed that it seems to be trading in opposite with oil at the moment, just for like the last few days or week. Like people are catching on about this inflation thing. So the psychologies and the TA are interesting with Hex. I still see the hope in here for trading possibilities, but admit fully we're in a bear market. We're not going for all-time highs right now. The question is just a little bit of TA, a little bit of interesting market analysis. I don't have a whole lot of news for you. Been busy and I gotta head off for work. So hopefully you enjoy this video. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry I haven't been around much. I should have some days off this week, so I'll come at you with some news and some math if I can find the time. Till next time, folks, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. Stay frosty.